Hey there. Sorry I missed you today. Let's go through everything so you don't miss a thing. Now, some heads ups. First of all, something that is now late, your counterclaim paragraph. If you haven't turned that in, please turn that in soon. And in addition, something that is due before next class, it's your reading journal entry. So, what is this reading journal entry? Let's talk about this because then I want to make sure you understand what it is. So, reading journal. What goes into a reading journal? Well, for one, reading journal is going to be about the book you're reading outside of class. Remember, we need to be reading outside of class. So if you haven't been reading outside of class, you guys know you can go on Mac and Via on LCPS Go on demand anytime. Go to the public library, let me know, or get in touch with Miss Duke, our librarian. You have lots of access to books, right? Second thing, it's got to be a minimum of 300 words. 300 words. That's our minimum to make sure that you can get in depth. It's got to include specific textual evidence, which means it could have any of these things. These are all right answers. A direct quote, a page number, or even just a detailed description of a scene with character names. Listen, any of those count as specific textual evidence, so make sure that you use at least one in a reading journal. Then it's got to include thought prompts. You know, thought prompts that we've used before, like maybe or perhaps, or I wonder if. Any of those would work. And whatever you do, don't summarize. Oh my goodness. A reading journal is not for you to tell me what's happening in your story. I don't care. It's not for summary. The important thing that I want to make sure that you do is if you're not going to summarize, I do want to remind you that you do have reading journal prompts for a reason. Answer a prompt given to you, which means I'm actually going to go ahead and have you take this right now. What is this? This is a quick reading journal formative. So the link for this survey is down here in the description. Please go ahead and click on that link and take that very quick survey now. Excellent. So now let's turn our attention here. So what are we doing? What are we working on? Well, if you remember from last class, we're talking about community now. We're doing a new unit about community where every class we're going to be reading a different series of texts that are going to help us kind of dig deeper into what community is and what it means and how it comes across in literature. We already did this last class from the scram gap here of a conversation you guys had on Schoology discussion boards. But what we're going to do right now, actually, is I want to do a read aloud of a short story from the packet that you picked up. This packet right here that you picked up when you came to Blue Ridge to pick up your book club book on November 30th. This was a packet you picked up. It's a collection of short stories written by Jason Reynolds. It's from his book Look Both Ways, and we're going to read a couple of these. And the first one we're going to read today is Water Booger Bears. So, yeah, I did say water booger bears. So there's going to be boogers in it. Just know that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the story aloud to you, but not here because it's going to take too long. So the second link down here in the description, that's going to be the link of me reading the story to you. So please go ahead, open up the text. You're going to see a link for that there, and open up the read aloud so you can listen to me read along to you. Go ahead and read along, and let's go ahead. And let's go ahead. I'm going to pause the video, and you pause too. Why don't you go ahead and read and listen to me read aloud to you Water Booger Bears by Jason Reynolds. That was quite a story. I want to kind of get your thoughts on that, would you? So do me a favor. I'm going to include this. This right here. If you notice, this is just going to be a link. I'm going to put it down here in the bottom of the description. This is going to be the third link in here. And this is just a list of different questions I want you to go ahead and jot down and just jot down your thoughts about because you weren't able to be here for part of the discussion. So go ahead and do me a favor. Open up the third link at the bottom of this video and go ahead and make a copy and jot down your thoughts to these 6 questions. And that'll help you for our next class. Terrific. And hey, if you haven't already gone ahead and shared that document with me, please do so. That way I can make sure that you get credit. But for our final thing today, in independent work time, we are going ahead and we are writing a reading journal. So our reading journal, where is it? Well, if we go into Schoology, and if we go ahead and click on that very first folder we see for community, click on that folder for journal entries, and open up your first assignment, you should see this assignment here. All we want you to do is choose a prompt to answer, either writing about a character and the way in which they respond or interact with the communities in the book and how that has anything to do with their characterization or theme. Or write about how a community appears in your book so far, what happens there, and how does that help us to better understand the theme of community. Your choice. Remember, you should be writing about a book that you're currently reading. If you're not reading a book, use today's short story. It's got to be at least 300 words long. That'll give you, make sure to use those thought prompts to go in depth. Those thought prompts are actually linked in blue. No summary. Instead, respond to either prompt number 1 or prompt number 2. And make sure that you use your answers that are in your Google Mail, your LCPS Gmail, from that Google form you took earlier in class, because, yeah, those answers are in there. Once you go ahead and do that, you're done for today. So if you have questions, go and shoot me an email. Otherwise, good luck. You got this.